don't copy this unless you have a wrist strap on, because I am not responsible for your losses. Right then, I am finally back out with the camera. It's been nigh on 6 weeks since my morning out with Thomas Heaton. So if you missed that, you can catch the video for that up there. So yeah, exhibition prep and all that, just miles behind of thinking about even getting out. And I was actually quite anxious about coming out because it's been so long. Have I forgotten to throw a camera around with any resemblance of skill? So I've come back to a familiar place. I've come to Harbottle Castle, which I was at roughly this time last year, and if you missed that video, it is probably around about here somewhere as well. It wasn't a very good video back then. I have got a little bit better since. But I'm also here with David Byrne, who's just in the background there, and you can find him on YouTube. Very talented photographer, very good landscaper, and he's giving it a wiggle today as well, so we'll see how things are going with that. So yeah, no real plans apart from using the shapes of the ruins of the castle here, giving things a wiggle and seeing what we're gonna get. So that's the plans, very simple. Let's see what we'll get. Bit of a warm up, probably about 100 shots just to get the wrist warmed up, loosened off. Some changeable light on the castle. It is probably the warmest day we're going to get all year today. Roasting hot, sweating buckets. That's why the cap's out. Keep this damn sun off me shiny bonds. It's really hot, really bright when the sun comes out, and then quite changeable once the clouds roll in front. You can maybe see how quite dull the castle has become, and that mixed with movement, it's not producing the best of results. So really I'm having to wait for the light to hit in between these clouds, and then I can shoot with better results. So like I say, I shot about 100 shots from this angle. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to use the remains of that curtain wall there, leading up to the corner of that keep, and just do, like, you know, traditional landscape shot, leading lines and all that. Going to shoot with that kind of angle and see what we're going to get. Back sun. Right, I think I've found the angle now. Obviously I like my leading line of this curtain wall in, but whenever I've shot here before, I've always struggled with, you can just see the edge of the tree across the edge of the motte there. I've always struggled with that because it's always been quite predominant in my images, to the point where I've actually not really cloned it out, but kind of erased it, because what I like to do is this ruined shard of keep there. I like to accentuate the height of that by using the side of the moss hill, the mount here, and moving the camera in a certain way to really almost straighten that hill out, to give you feeling of it being much higher. So that's the kind of stuff you've got to do to get, you know, create landscapes that aren't actually there. Is just use whatever's there, use and combine it with your camera movement to accentuate details. Right, just for a laugh, I'm going to show you the technique that I used where I threw my camera away the other week because I need a wrist strap so the camera stays on attached to my hand, because it is my lifeblood. It is what I earn my money with, and more recently it's got to the point where I've thrown it away a bit too many times to be safe, because one day my luck will run out and it'll hit something hard and break properly. So what I'm going to show you is a quick technique. Don't copy this unless you have a wrist strap on, because I am not responsible for your losses. So basically, I mean, this is a big fat DSLR. A good grip at the front here, and really jam your thumb in on the back of here. I have no rubber left on the back of my camera here, so to be honest, I can really jam my thumb into there. And what you want to do is kind of hold it with your middle finger. Be quite loose with this, because if you grip too tight with your index finger, you are going to start affecting settings halfway through the shot. So you want to kind of hold it, thumb and fingers. And what you're going to do is going to basically whip the camera around using gravity, so it ends up in that position. So we will obviously set up for the normal shooting length, which in this case is half a second f11 with a 6-stop. And what I'm going to do is roughly compose, as in just point it in the general direction. I'm going to start the shutter off, so you've got half a second to do this. So what you're really looking to do is really, as you click the shutter, is really start to push in with your wrist, but holding on for dear life with your thumb and middle finger, and end up in a position where your camera's upside down. So we're just going to do that now for real. Simple as that. Maybe do it a little bit better composition. That's a much better one, but I've changed my settings because I've been gripping too tight. That'd come all the way down to a second. Much better. Yeah, I think we'll call it quits there before I threw it away. If you're after a bit of an extra bonus after the images, hang around for a conversation I had with David about portrait orientation ICM photography. So after 6 weeks, it was great to get back out with a camera, break myself in gently and get a few shots in the archive. Not the best of productive days, but let's see what I got. Time for some video.
That was the thing I was going to ask you. Have you ever done any portrait?
Portrait style? I have. I just find it's harder to control. Because you're already starting either there or there.
If you need a portrait one,
which is halfway around what I would normally be shooting. So like from here you can start. You can go
so I've seen you've done it. If you need a portrait crop, you'll kind of crop it from a landscape picture.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, you've seen it like
12, square mainly.
12 megapixel camera, and I can still blow it up to the size that we're on the wall there. So resolution's not an issue. But no, I think it's just I have done a few portrait starting points, but generally you've got less movement. If you're not starting there, you know, if you're already starting there, then you're halfway gone. It's painful to go any further.
You didn't like coming back the other way.
And going back where you kind of restricted that far as well.
That was a thing.
So I mean, you could probably go turn it one way. But I think you've got less control doing it like that as well.